All right, welcome to the Ryan Spelts podcast, Get Attention Marketing Mastery. The whole point of this podcast is to help you get and keep attention for your small business. And this is the second one of these that I'll do where I talk about marketing tools that you can use to really make a difference in your business for the long run. And this is actually my most popular blog post ever. Part of that came from using marketing skills to come up with the title. And it's tricky. Sometimes the things you come up with, they work really well. This one, still to this day, I get people reading this. It was written, 5 months ago. And it still to this day it trends as my number one blog post. So it's because the title is the secret sauce to marketing that actually works, so you can leave your competition in the dust. For whatever reason, people like that title and they read this. But truth is, these two things that I'm going to talk about are the most important place to start. Most businesses start with where they should market. They make a decision because someone like me walks through their door and says, hey, you should market in my magazine, or I can help you with your Google AdWords, or I can help you with your social media marketing. I can help you with video marketing, whatever it is. Somebody walks through your door and you say, yeah, I'll spend money on that. That sounds great. But before you ever do that, before you decide to be in any one source and commit to a source and spend, lots of money for your, for your business, for marketing, I want you to think about this, these two things. Okay. And so we're going to go through it in detail today. First of all, my name is Ryan Spelts. I own Connection Media. We were previously called Connection Publishing. We started as a print magazine company, and we sold advertisements in our magazines to local businesses. But my desire and my strongest motivator is I love people's dreams. I love helping small business owners reach and accomplish their dreams so that they can succeed at any level that they want to. They can grow their business. They can get to a point where their income is satisfactory to what they want to do. And I just love being part of that whole process. And so as we've grown as a company, and we changed our name to Connection Media because we do so much more than just publishing nowadays, it became apparent to me that my primary goal was teaching businesses, helping and assisting them to become excellent marketers. And so that's why I started the podcast. That's why I started blogging. And we started offering all kinds of services. We do a lot of done-for-you stuff, so we can help with, defining your who and why. We can help you with keyword research. We can help you make a content marketing calendar so that you can be effective and that you can dominate in your market and leave your competition in the dust. This is the secret sauce. So what is the secret sauce, you say? Well, it is number one, defining your who, your ideal client. Who is your who? Who would you who is most likely to do business with you? It's vital to understand who this is. Seth Godin calls it your minimum viable audience. I helped a local bakery owner recently, and I said, who's your client? She says, well, anybody in this area that likes sweets. And I had to tell her, that's too broad. It's way too broad. And the fact is, you need to become narrower with understanding your primary who. Now, you can have additional who's that maybe are secondary, but there's probably one group of people that identifies super well with you and with your personality, with your business's personality. For example, I'm not that funny. So people who need someone to be funny, I'm not their guy. I'm not naturally funny. I can be silly and I can make people giggle, but I am not that, I'm not that funny naturally. So I take a more serious approach, and I really love what I do. I love working. I work a lot of hours. I put a lot of effort in. I like to grind. I like to do all those things. So people who identify with those things, they're more likely to be attracted to me, to the content that I put out, to the information that I put out in the world. I focus on helping you get attention and keep attention for your small business. So those are the people that I work with. So my primary audience are small businesses in our community, Northern Utah. So Weber County, Davis County, Box Elder County, who have small businesses that are locally focused. Those are are who. And I really love working with the entrepreneurs and helping them succeed at a high level. So anyway, defining your who is so important. Getting it more narrow. You can have multiple who's. So with our publications, for example, our who's are the cities that we contract with. So we have cities like North Ogden, Weber County, Roy, Syracuse, Clearfield. We have 5 publications, and our target audience in serving someone, the best way to answer who you serve is who your who is to say who do we serve. But I serve those cities in trying to help them accomplish their communication goals. Another who that we have is our readers. We work really hard to come up with great content. We have a great content team, writers and editors and proofreaders and copywriters and graphic designers to make our publications look great and work great. We have a great marketing team that help come up with the creative and the ideas for helping market the businesses, whether it's in our magazines or in digital, and we work hard to serve them. So identifying your who, you can have multiple, but get narrow, because each audience that you talk to is going to have a different desire of what they're interested in and what's going to draw their attention. So if you haven't done this yet, if you've been working with me for a long time, you've heard me say this 100 times, get your who defined. Start there. Start with who. I love the book by Simon Sinek. It says start with why, and I say yes, start with why, as long as you've already figured out your who. I believe you need to know your who first, and then you'll figure out your why. However, it's sometimes tricky to decide who your who is. And so I put together a worksheet, and to get that worksheet, it's free. You don't even have to put an email in. We'd love to have you follow us. You can follow us at the Get Attention newsletter at ryanspelts.com or at connectionpub.com. We send out once a week marketing tips and tricks and local information for local small businesses. You don't have to be in this area for it to apply to you, but those are the ones we specialize in and work with. There is a free downloads at connectionpub.com. PUB as in publishing. You can also type in connectionpublishing.com. And then at the top, there's a menu item that says Marketing Know-How, Start with Who and Why. You'll click on Start with Who and Why, and there's downloads right there. You can download these worksheets they're excellent at helping you determine your who and your why. At the top of the who worksheet, it says determining your who is crucial to effective marketing. Defining your potential customer as everyone or anyone who likes blank is too broad. While everyone might possibly be your customer, hone your messaging to those who are most likely to love you and your product. Lack of a specific definition of your who will cost you time, money, and effectiveness. This worksheet will help you determine your who. Be detailed. So it's going to go through some basic demographic information. You may know that already from doing marketing, but then it's going to ask you things like, what are their favorite things in the world? What do they spend money on? Where do they spend their time? Does your product fulfill a desire or solve a problem or solve a need? A pain point is a problem and a desire, and it's a great sales tool. But sometimes you have something that is, is more of a strong desire that people have, not necessarily a need, but something that they really want. Like a plumber, if your toilet's clogged, that's a need. But if your toilet is clogged and you have family coming and it's overflowing into your bathroom on a holiday weekend, that's a definition of pain. That's a strong need. They're going to call for that. However, if you want a handbag, for example, a woman might say, I need a handbag. I got to carry stuff in pockets. I have 3 daughters and a wife and 5 sisters, and they always say the pockets in women's clothes are terrible. And so they need a handbag to be able to carry everything they have. But does she need a $3,200 Louis Vuitton bag or a $10,000 Louis Vuitton bag? Maybe not, but she might desire one. So you could be on that side of things, where your need-fulfilling product also fulfills a desire for something fancy or beautiful or at an incredibly high level of value to you. So then it'll ask what your customers' favorite things are about you and your company, and then ask you who your favorite customers are. Who do you love working with? I love working with entrepreneurs. I think they're so awesome. They think differently. They have different personalities than most, And I love the idea of working with someone who doesn't just want a job, they want to create jobs. They don't want to just work somewhere, they want to create something. That's high on my desire list, and I really love working with those people. So that's step number one, define your who. Who are you talking to? Who's most important and most valuable to you in your marketing and in your business? This will help define and determine a lot of things that you do in your business, not just your marketing. It'll determine how you decorate, how you speak to people, what is most important in your communications and your content as you develop a content marketing plan. So the second part, and this is the other worksheet that you'll download, is called the Why worksheet. Now, if you've read Start With Why by Simon Sinek, it's incredible, and he talks about motivators and how to be happy and how to be in the right type of business, and I love that concept. This is slightly different than what he's talking about, though. This is your company's why, your marketing why. This is why people do business with you. It's some people call it a unique selling proposition. Others call it a differentiator. So you want your why to be powerful, just like your who should be very direct and very narrow. And I'm going to read at the top of this worksheet. It says, your unique selling proposition, USP, is why people do business with you. It should be short and real. Don't claim something you can't back up. It should highlight your strengths, touch on what your customers like about you, and use powerful wording to say it concisely. This is much more than a slogan and much more specific than we create high quality products. The problem with that kind of statement is it's so vague, it almost means nothing. It can also be easily used by a competitor. So your USP needs to be uniquely yours. And if you have multiple focuses, you may want to have one USP for each area and one for your company as a whole. So after you've defined your who, you'll have a pretty good idea of who you're talking to, then it'll help you define your why. The questions on here, pretty simple. What does your company do? Who is your who? This is defined on that who worksheet, of course. And then what are the things your customers compliment you for the most? What specific things to you that they love? What are very unique aspects of you and the way you do business? Remember this, facts tell and stories sell. People buy benefits over features. So for example, a sharp knife is a great feature, but the fact that it makes cutting quicker and easier, saving time and energy, that's a benefit. People buy on the benefit. And what's a story you could tell that clearly identifies your unique capabilities and expresses the benefits you provide? Okay, dig in on this. This is a little tricky to do because you don't really think in this way typically on a day-to-day basis, but I want you to get specific here and define that who and get it dialed in the best you can. And then keeping the above ideas in mind, I want you to write down your unique selling proposition, your marketing why. The defining feature, it should be something simple. So a couple of examples of really good whys are the leather company, Saddleback Leather. We buy products from them. We love them. They're excellent, excellent products. They build these leather goods, so bags and wallets and belts and different things that are great for to have to use in your day-to-day life and have good quality products. But their USP or their marketing why is they'll fight over it when you're dead. They make products that are so great, so long lasting, so powerful that they will literally last beyond your lifetime, and they'll fight over it when you're dead. They've defined it, in the simplest form, how why people are going to do business with them, and they know who they're talking to. They're talking to people who like high quality things, leather products, and they make the very best. They don't no breakable parts. They give 100-year warranty on the product. So and they use it in their marketing. It's pretty amazing. So that's a great example of defining your why and understanding who you're talking to. So if you define your who and your why, this is the secret sauce. That's exactly what you need to know so that as you create ads, whether you're going to create ads for social media, or you're going to be on a billboard, or you're going to be in a magazine, or you're going to create a TV commercial, it doesn't matter what you're doing, your who and why. When you know who you're talking to and why they would do business with you, you can target specifically who you're talking to. Then you can also use that targeting and audience creation so that you know exactly who to target your ads towards, and it makes it great. For example, if you're a business to business company and you sell a product that business people would be interested in, being in a community magazine like the ones we make at Connection Media, Connection Publishing, is not a good idea. Yes, it's a great magazine and people love it, but it's consumers that read it, not businesses. Could a business owner read the magazine? Yes, but that's not our primary target. And so you want to go to places where their primary target is the person, the who that you're targeting. And so there's ways to do that with social media. There are trade publications. There are different ways to target specifically who you want to talk to and how to get in front of them. So define your who, define your why. Go to connectionpub.com and click on marketing know-how. There'll be a little drop down, and then click start with who and why, and download those two worksheets. Take some time. This usually takes an hour when I do this one-on-one with an entrepreneur. And I've done this with companies who've been in business for a long time and always have a breakthrough, but it takes time to do it right. So take your time, and when you're doing research and determining which channels you're going to pick, there's also a worksheet there called the Where worksheet. Most people start with where. They think, oh, I'll advertise in your magazine, but instead they should be starting with who and why, and then determining from those where they will be putting advertising, what channels they'll use, what kind of content they'll create, what the look and feel of their advertising and branding should be like. All of those things are determined by understanding your who and your why. It'll give you like superpowers as a marketing person. It'll give you all of this energy to know who you're talking to and exactly why they should do business with you and why they're going to want to do business with you. It'll be a big impact, a big influence. So I encourage you to spend time developing that and understanding your who and why. And if you need help with this, we're happy to help. Just let us know. connectionpub.com. There's contact info there, 801-624-9652. And you can email me, Ryan at connectionpub.com as well. And we'd love to hear from you. So thanks for listening. This is episode 2 of the Get Attention. I changed the name. I was going to call it Marketing Mind, but some other guy has a podcast called The Marketing Mind. So I changed it to Get Attention, which is the name of my new book that is nearly ready to be released and will be out soon. So I'm excited about that as well. Get Attention, marketing mastery, how to get and keep attention for your small business. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.